depuis autant des vacances privées. Si mon comme si la joie de vivre. Un bon soleil pour nous prendre un bain de mer. En vacances que nous comptons. C'est ça qui fait les vacances privées. N'oubliez soucis, chagrin, tout problème la vie. Nous pas sous plage, pique-nique dans tout petit bal. Ambiance tout partout, musique à violer. Gagne un bon soleil, nous prenons pour promenade. Ah oui, c'est vacances que nous comptons.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Caribbean Report. I'm your host, Dedrick Henry, and I'm of course joined by my lovely co-host, Karen Clark.
Hi there, good evening, and how are you?
We have a big show for you today, and it's going to go just like that, so don't take any breaks because it's going to go quick. But before I start, last week, what did I tell you? I told you last week, by this week, we will have a website up and an email contact. So throughout the show, it should flash up on the screen. But just to tell you to let you know what it is, it's www.myspace.com/Atlanta Caribbean Report. All one word, myspace.com/Atlanta Caribbean Report. And see, it's on the screen now as we speak. And if you go to that site, you will see the last 2 episodes. And this current episode, if you're currently watching this live, will be on the site by Monday evening. So that's, I guess you could say, a tradition now. When the show is on Friday, it will be on the site on Monday. So there's no excuse for not watching us. Before, we had a limited area. We were only seen within the city limits of Atlanta, but now we're seen to the world. And see, and you didn't even know about that till tonight, did you?
No, you surprised me, and thank you for doing that.
Oh, no problem. Just full of surprises.
Gosh. Well, one thing I have to say, it's more than coming. We do need to be seen around the world.
Definitely.
Because what we have to show for Atlanta is that we are a growing community. The population for well, actually, I should say the Caribbean population has grown tremendously.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Tremendously. And a lot of people keep coming here. The majority of the influx of people are coming from Florida, as well as New York and California.
Right.
And a lot of them are of Caribbean descent.
Correct.
Yes.
So, this is, I consider this huge. And this is just the start of things to come. If you haven't been to the site yet, there's a lot more that's going to be done to it. I know you haven't seen it yet, Karen, but basically right now it just tells who we are, and it allows you, like I said, to see the show, the June 1st show and the June 8th show, and by Monday you'll be able to see this show, the June 16th show.
Yes, and also we have many great things coming to the viewers.
Exactly.
We're having a segment on health.
Right.
And then later on we're going to have a segment of more current events as far as in the cultural arts.
Correct. So, like I said, please stay tuned in, because if you don't, you're going to miss a lot. And I got distracted from, we have a lot of people coming in the audience right now, so I kind of got distracted on that for a second. But again, myspace.com, Atlanta Caribbean, /Atlanta Caribbean Report. And I forgot one thing, I'm sorry, the email address, ATL Caribbean Report @yahoo.com. So either way, you can go to the website, or you can just straight email us, but there's no excuse in not reaching us. But I got big news. We've been joined by Miss Janice Lawrence-Clarke. And a lot of you are probably wondering who she is, but I'm going to leave that to Karen, whose last name also is Clark, and who also is from Trinidad. So, now I have some news on Montserrat later. So, every week, that's another promise. There's always going to be something on Montserrat, but I'm going to push it to Trinidad right now.
Hi, welcome, Janice.
Thank you, Karen. It's a pleasure to be here. Hello, Dedrick.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Nice
and welcome
to meet you
aboard.
too. Thank you.
Yes. I took the liberty to go on your website.
Okay.
And you have an extraordinary background. A model.
Yes.
Also, you have your own company.
JLC Productions.
Okay, and please tell us a little bit more about that, and then we go into the reason why you were invited.
Okay, great. Well, JLC Productions is a special events company. specializing in fashion and culture. All right. So we work with fashion designers, helping them to put collections together. We also produce fashion presentations, shows, in whether it's on the runway or for a video, or styling for print, just the different forms of presentation on fashion. We also do seminars. I do seminars on how to tie head wraps, and I call them wrap sessions.
And and I love your wrap.
Thank you.
I love your color.
We need to do a show just on that.
Me on that.
We can do a show.
Definitely. How to tie a wrap.
How to tie, because women don't realize that we all know how to do hair ties. They come in very handy. They come in for bad hair days, right? They come in for practicality of, oh, I want to cover my head because of the heat or the sun, which is traditional, coming from African background.
Right.
And, you know, the first person I ever saw with a head tie was my great-grandmother.
Really?
And she said it was to cover her plaits, cover her head from the hot sun.
Right.
Right? So with that, we knew that vendors also carry things on their heads. And so their head wraps were tied a bit differently to support whatever they were carrying on their head.
I remember seeing that when I was a little girl.
Exactly.
I remember seeing that.
Exactly.
But very colorful, and our heritage originating from Africa.
Indeed.
So definitely a melting pot in Trinidad, a melting pot.
And when you talk about Trinidad and Tobago, too, remember, Karen, we've got not only African, but then the East Indians came in to join us as indentured laborers. And, of course, we have the people who brought us there in the first place, the Europeans, and then the Indians, the Syrians, the Chinese, Portuguese. I mean, TNT is an incredible melting pot.
You know, I'm glad you made that point, because we spoke on this before. A lot of people, I guess you could say, characterize the Caribbean as just one culture. I mean, a lot of, and it's funny because people are shocked when they see otherwise. Like when I show them videos and something, they like, wow, that's there. I'm like,
it's definitely a blend of cultures, because in my family, we will be making roti, curry, and then they may be making chow mein and Chinese fried rice.
Right.
Because in our family, our heritage is so mixed.
Right.
Therefore, we adopt, it is a melting pot, so we adopt all different types of foods. You know?
This is true.
Yes.
This is true.
Definitely. And I am just so impressed, and I'm so happy that you're able to make it to tell us, you know, everything about yourself, and also to tie in the special things that you do for our community. Please tell us.
Okay. Well, I am the Public Relations Officer for the Trinidad and Tobago Association of Georgia.
okay.
And to tie it in, since June is Caribbean American Heritage Month, our contribution is what we call the Caribbean Meet and Greet 2007.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And what we're attempting to do with that is bring together Caribbean entrepreneurs, Caribbean and Caribbean American and American entrepreneurs, different professionals, executives, people in the community that want to do business with the Caribbean, want to do business with the Caribbean American community, and luminaries, artists, and we just want to find the movers and shakers in our community, because we need to know who they are.
Well, one thing that I was told, and I bumped into the president of the Trinidad and Tobago Association, Douglas, Bazzi, and he said to me that Trinidad is flowing with lots of money, and that people are opening up businesses, and all you have to do is present your business plan, and there you are, a viable business, and the government, well, you are supported.
Right, because Douglas just returned from TNT, Trinidad and Tobago.
Right. I'm glad you say that, because you'll be amazed. You'll be amazed, but a lot of our viewers are not knowledgeable of the Caribbean except for vacation stops. Right. Which is good, because, I mean, not to cut off your conversation, but I run into a lot of people in the gym that stop me and say, what is the name of that island? Montserrat? I never heard of that. Where is that? Or they ask me about somewhere else, whatever topic we were talking on that day, and they're really enlightened to get this knowledge, because they said they never heard that anywhere else before. So just to add to what you said, please continue.
It's the whole geography lesson.
Right. That's what this show is turning into.
right? But right now, you know, TNT, Trinidad and Tobago, is developing its infrastructure for technology.
Really?
We are Georgia's largest supplier of natural gas.
Correct.
Wow.
We actually supply
we
Georgia Power. Okay?
Isn't it about like 92%?
Yes, it's about 92% of the natural gas that's
Yes.
used here is supplied by TNT. As a matter of fact, Trinidad and Tobago is Georgia's largest supplier or exporter in the Western Hemisphere.
Really?
That's
You giving
what I
our
got.
viewers a history lesson tonight.
And
Wait.
also, I'm
Oh, go ahead.
sorry
No,
to
you're
interrupt.
good. You're good.
I believe I read somewhere that they're building some plants.
Yes, there's a new area called Tamana Tech, which is going to be in technology park. Right, so that's going on. We also have in the south Petrotrin and all the other petrochemical industries. So around the country, because Tamana Tech is in central Trinidad, so around the country there are lots of different establishments and industries that are going up,
Good.
making it a very viable place to be. So once again, whereas in the 70s there was the oil boom, and, you know, we had oil, and so we were funding the rest of the Caribbean and so forth. Once again, it's coming back to that. So I understand people are like jumping from job to job.
Yes, I heard. It gives me goosebumps because I feel like I want to go back and live.
I know.
But with all of this, with the meet and greet, probably we all here, Americans and non-Americans, can do business and share in this growth and
Right.
wealth of this little island that is off the coast of Venezuela, correct?
Correct.
So that is something that is fantastic that you are doing.
Well, and remember too, Karen, the Caribbean consists of about 35 countries.
Correct.
And people here, they hear about Jamaica,
Right.
they hear about Barbados,
Right.
you know, and now they're beginning to hear about Trinidad.
Right.
They don't understand that Trinidad and Tobago is a twin island state,
Right.
right? We also have Antigua Barbuda, that's
Right.
also a twin
Right.
island
Right.
state, right? But we want to reach out to the Caribbean at large. The Caribbean has English-speaking, French, Dutch, and Spanish.
Right.
Sometimes the Portuguese for Brazil is brought in, you know, but we have all these different language groups, and of course the cultures that go with them. But whenever we have events, we tend to be individual, like the Trinis having an event, or the
Right,
Jamaicans having an event, you know, but not something that's all-inclusive, and that's what the meet and greet is about. We have 6 countries being presented, the Bahamas, Trinidad and Tobago, of course, Jamaica, the Netherlands Antilles, St. Martin,
All right.
I have to count them, Dominican Republic,
Oh, okay.
Fantastic.
and our cousin, Bermuda.
Oh, good.
That's very good. So in other words, you did pick up on the other language, different language speaking from the Dutch.
From the
And
Dutch and
and
the
the Spanish.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
You know,
Fantastic.
Now, how-
And what about Haiti? Is Haiti, are you embracing Haiti as well? Do they have anything to contribute?
well, of
the
course,
meet and greet?
Haiti is a part of everything, but unfortunately, they're not doing a presentation at the meet and greet.
Okay.
There is a diaspora on Haiti going on this weekend.
Okay.
I believe it's in Decatur, you know, as part of the Georgia Caribbean American Heritage Month events.
Right, and as you mentioned that, let me just make a quick announcement because the location changed on that. I'm glad you said that because Dr. Edna, who you know was a big contributor to the show, just handed this to me at the beginning of the program. There is a symposium on Haiti, as Janice mentioned, and it is being moved. It was before, well, it doesn't matter where it was before. Now it's going to be, like you said, at the Decatur Library Conference Room on Sycamore Street, and it will be from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. Before it was listed as noon to 9 p.m., and before it was listed as Auburn Avenue. But again, it's going to be at the Decatur Library Conference Room on Sycamore Street from 9 a.m. to 12 noon.
Well,
I
thank
just wanted to
you.
definitely get that in.
Thank you for addressing that change.
You know, so yes, we wanted to include as many people as possible, but of course, when the rubber hits the road, you have to work with who is responding, right? And who is doing whatever needs to be done, because we've got like a country's needs list. You know, we need you to do a food presentation. So when they come, they'll have an opportunity to sample dishes.
Really? Okay.
A food presentation. We need you to find like maybe 10, 30 guests that you need to invite, because we want you to reach out to your people. There's a slew of things, including a financial contribution, because of course, here.
What is the financial contribution? Is it up to the individual?
Well, of course, there's also the Palm supporter, which means any kind of contribution that's not labeled as a sponsorship level, which were from $500 to $4,500. So if you wanted to contribute anything other than that, you're a Palm supporter or a mega sponsor, right?
I hope you get lots of mega sponsors.
I am working on the mega sponsors, at least for next year, because it's already wrapped up for this year, right? But we offered ads at $150 to $400. $150 for a quarter page, $300 for half, $400 for a full page. So countries were asked, and countries, not individuals, were asked to participate between $150 to $400.
Did you get a large response from the tourist board from the various countries?
The Bermuda Tourist Board is participating. The Bahamas Tourist Board is participating. Trinidad and Tobago is sending things up to, participate in the whole event. The Sister Cities Commissions are participating, because, there are 3 Caribbean countries in Atlanta's Sister Cities. Salcedo, which is in the Dominican Republic, Montego Bay, Jamaica, and Port of Spain, Trinidad. So the 3 sister cities are participating. As a matter of fact, Trinidad and Tobago is sending Miss Stephanie Jackson to represent Port of Spain, the mayor of Port of Spain. So
good.
We're reaching out.
I was about to say, you're definitely on.
Fantastic. And what I would like to find out, what about, say, other, for instance, UPS, at one time I heard that they were building a museum. Are they contributing as well?
Not this time, but I'm glad they're going to hear this, right?
Yes. And now that we're on the website. We're on the website, and it can be seen anywhere around the world. Definitely, this is something that we could send to them, so that they can see that, yes, our culture is expanding, our group is expanding as a population, and we want to share information out there.
We would love to put this feed on our website, too, because we do have a website.
Yeah, please share that with her, because they're not going to get all the information or be able to get everything that you're saying now. So please give that to our viewers.
So we could all work together.
Oh, yeah, that's what it's about.
Definitely, because it would definitely be advantageous if all the Caribbean associations and their websites, we all link together and we help support one another. Definitely.
And that's the whole goal. We need to have unity so that we can have a voice.
Exactly.
Politically.
And economically.
And economically. Because that's right, it does go hand in hand.
And that site again was? I'm sorry, yours?
It's CaribbeanMeetGreet.org.
Okay.
So is this website it's very much so an official organization in itself? A cultural organization?
Well, first of all, the meet and greet was organized and produced by a collaboration of people from different organizations as well as individuals. So when we first got together, we had people from the Grenada Association, the Guyana Association, United for Bajan, the Barbados Association. we have had support from the Latin American Association.
Good.
Okay, fantastic.
I tell you, because I consider myself an Afro-Caribbean American woman.
Right.
And yes, I was born in Trinidad and Tobago, but I am a Caribbean woman.
Right.
So
Correct.
I have been pushing the Caribbean move since I can remember when.
Good.
Since Adam
Good.
was a baby
Good.
boy.
That's what this show is about.
And that's what this show is about. And we were saying too, we would like to give history about the Caribbean, and we called it Caribbean World History.
Yes, I've been looking at you.
So
Nasty
definitely
clips.
we do want to push the unity there. Yes, it's good that we do have little cliques, and we're proud nationals of individual islands.
Right.
Or countries, as you would say, but we have to unite together to really make a dent in the population,
Right.
the same way the politicians are doing through CARICOM.
Absolutely.
You know, so we do need to take example and take heed from that.
Well,
and continue.
and also, I'm sorry, also, if we looked at worldview, just looking at what was going on with the European Union should have given us a clue.
True.
You know,
Yes.
should have given us a clue that we can't stand alone.
We can't.
Right.
We can't.
How can you stand alone? Look at ourselves as a body. How can the hands work without the head?
Good
Can the
point.
feet
Can't.
work without the
I
head?
heard that in church.
Of course,
Of course.
definitely. Yeah, but one body.
I heard
Yeah,
that. I
it's
heard that because he used that scenario for us to say that we do need to unite as people.
Yes.
We do need to unite. And another thing as well is that by uniting the different forms of communication, may it be the newspaper, the television, and the radio, we need to collaborate together so we can build up a force together to bring information to our communities.
Do you know that we have a Caribbean-owned radio station? 24/7. Don't let Daddy come on the television now.
No.
Okay, you're introducing Daddy.
Yes, we have a Caribbean-owned radio station.
Okay.
It is the website is called mycaribbeanradio.com.
Okay.
And it's at 14:30 a.m. WATB, and with a simulcast on 14:20 a.m.
Okay.
Really?
And it's owned by a man named Loxley Downer,
Okay.
who's from Jamaica.
All
And
right.
I thought I knew all the stations.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay,
Well,
and it's
thank you.
24/7 talk, radio, and music, and business information and what have you.
And how far does this carry?
Um,
the radio station.
It's based in Conyers, and I know that he has a very wide spread. I can't give you figures and all of that,
Right.
but it travels
The
to
broadcast
north.
it travels to what counties?
North. Why are you asking me difficult questions? Isn't it
I'm
enough
so sorry.
that I've given
I'm
you
so
some?
sorry. I want to make sure that when I go home, I turn it on.
Yes.
And I can hear it. I live in Stone Mountain, people.
You should hear it. You should hear it because it's
Okay.
It's definitely in the east.
Okay.
I think as far south as Macon.
Okay.
Really? Okay, so yeah,
fantastic.
it spans a
so
wide
that
area.
is a good coverage, definitely.
And, you can hear it again on the web, online at mycaribbeanradio.com.
Another
Well,
promise. That link is going to be on our website
It's
before
going to be on
next
the
week's show.
website, and we're definitely going to have more information for our audience because, we have very innovative Caribbean people living in Atlanta, and they see the wave of the future and definitely expanding and growing, and want to bring all this knowledge to non-Caribbean and Caribbean as
Right.
well. People.
Absolutely.
Because we definitely have both
Yes.
audiences.
Definitely.
You see, that's
'Cause
why we're going to have to have her back because time just goes way too quick. If I'm
When
not
you're having
mistaken,
fun.
we're within the last 5 minutes of the show already. I know you sat down and felt like it's been about 2 minutes, bro.
Right. We just
And something else that we'll be working on is getting more time.
That's the key.
Getting more time because there's
That's
so
the
much
key,
information
right.
we want to bring. I mean, such as folk tales,
Oh, yeah,
folk
it
tales
is.
of the
Right.
Caribbean, how they were born, and how closely linked it is to the various cultural groups
Right.
that live in that area.
Right.
And also to bring a food segment. We were talking about a food segment, to do something like that.
That would be fun.
That would definitely be fun, to go on site to different Caribbean restaurants and to do a footage and bring it to the audience to show you how to make some jerk chicken.
Right, or roti.
Or roti. Yes,
sugar
roti.
cakes.
Sugar cakes is delicious. A lot of work for sugar cake.
Yeah, I know.
I grated my fingers many a days with that coconut.
Me too.
So you just said we have a wide array to cover, from health, from food to sports to entertainment to politics,
definitely.
just everything.
And probably I'll
to fashion.
Probably I'll learn a little bit about cricket because I don't understand cricket.
Really?
I don't understand cricket. I was born in Trinidad, but I don't understand cricket.
But you know what? I know we're at the end of the show, so I do want to cover our history. Well, I hear the music playing, so I'm just going to mention the names. The first is Robert Clive Maynard, born 1937, died 1993. The newspaper editor and publisher was the son of Barbadian parents who immigrated to the U.S. in 1990. He was born in Brooklyn, New York, where he grew up in Bed-Stuy. After a series of jobs, he became the first black person in the U.S. to direct editorial operations. And there will be more on this on the website because something just came in my ear that's way more important than this at the moment. We need to finish up with the meet and greet because that would happen before our next show. So I'm now going to turn it back to Janice.
So it's on Thursday, the 21st of June, which is the first day of summer, at the City Gallery East, City Hall East, which is at 675 Ponce de Leon Avenue in Atlanta, 30306.
Okay, and again, the time that it starts?
From 6 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Okay, and again, it will be a link to that site also on our website. So all you got to do is go to the website and you would definitely get this information.
Caribbean.
Okay, if I wasn't going before, I'm going now. No, I was definitely going. I was going.
Are we excluded? Because I feel very lucky. So if I go,
only committee members are excluded.
Okay.
Are you a committee member?
No, not yet.
Well, not to cut you off, but we're out of time. So I'm just going to say, please join us again next week. And again, the site, myspace.com/Atlanta Caribbean Report. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back next week, same time, 7 p.m., same channel 24, or anytime, any place now that we're on the internet. It feels good to say that.